Hello, my fellow raiders! This is Mloentje, and welcome back to Ark Raiders. Guys, today they released an article stating what we will be keeping and what we will be getting for the second expedition when it comes to rewards. Now, the article is supposed to explain stuff, but after reading it, I got more questions. So, yeah, let's go through it together, guys, and see if you guys maybe can answer some of the questions that remain on my mind. Raiders, it will soon be time to open up the tunnels out of Speranza and send our second wave of ambitious raiders to new adventures beyond the Rust Belt. Raiders can sign up from February the 25th, and the departure will take place on March the 1st. This is your opportunity to start your journey again with a new raider and extra buffs and bonuses. Before the expedition, we want to give you all the information you need so you can prepare ahead of time. Now, basically, this article was from the 5th, so I'm basically a day late because it's the 6th right now. So this means we have 20 days, basically, from when they send out this message, that this is what we're going to be able to expect. So if you still need to work on it, else you're not going to get, right? So starting off, we want to get one announcement out of the way right off the bat. We heard your feedback about the required stash value for maximum rewards being too high, and we've decided to lower the requirements to 3 million coins, 600k per skill points. The rewards will still be 5 skill points for reaching 3 million stash value. My honest opinion, and it might be a little controversial, guys, 5 million is way too easy to get. It's way too easy to get. I did not have looting MK3, I had a looting MK2 back then. And, well, I was going in a raid, basically 5 to 10 minutes, fill up all of my inventory with everything that I could find. Was it scraps? Was it valuables? Was it guns? Was it ammo? Whatever. Just inventory full, get out. That means a run between 5 and 10 minutes. Let's say even 15 minutes, right? Let's give it 15 minutes per run to just fill your stash and get out with a MK2 looting, right? The most amount of loot that I could be carrying at that moment. That means that if I do 10 runs, between 10 and 12 runs, so 2 hours of gameplay, I was getting 1 million. That means I needed to invest 10 hours of game time to get the 5 million. That is not a lot of time. Back then, for the first one, I could understand, like, okay, we only had like 20 days to prepare, and nobody knew what the expedition, what it was going to be, and what we needed to expect. So I can understand that they're saying, like, okay, the value was too high back then. Right now, we had 60 days. If you cannot invest 10 hours of your time in those 60 days to basically fill out your stash and sell everything that you really don't need to get your hands on the 5 million, then you're not playing the game correctly, honestly. Like, I understand the feedback back then, but the feedback right now is not valuable anymore. And going forward, as we will read in a second, the value of that is even going lower and lower and lower. Like the time investment that you need to do, and it's all going to be lowered, and it's going to be easier and easier. Every expedition you're going to do is going to be easier and easier. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, they heard the feedback, guys. And honestly, for the more casual gamer, because I'm a hardcore gamer, I game at least like 2 hours a day, and in the weekends it may be 8 hours a day. I love gaming, and that's basically, it's my hobby, it's my pastime, it's what I do, right? And well, also for my content creation. But for the more casual, the dad that has to go to work and stay with his kids and can only play like half an hour maybe every day and maybe an hour in the weekends, this is really good news. Like, this means that he can also get there. But 10 hours in 2 months, in 60 days is not a lot of time investment to actually get 5 skill points, guys. But yeah, they made it easier. Okay, let's just keep it at that. Like I said, maybe a little bit of a controversial train of thought, guys, but we'll get to it in a second when I say it's going to be easier and easier and easier. Catch-up mechanic, guys. So they want to give a little bit of effort from the developers towards the player base, and basically make a mechanic so you can catch up what you did not get in your first expedition. So for raiders who could not amass enough coin during the first expedition, we are introducing a skill point catch-up system allowing raiders to reclaim the ones they missed. The catch-up skill points will be heavily discounted, making the total coins needed to reach max skill points less for each expedition. Amass the entire stash value and enjoy your skill points before everyone else. Fail to do so, and the catch-up system will allow you to close the gap over time. For this expedition, you will need to gather 300k stash value per skill points that you missed from the first expedition. When departing, your coins will contribute to the skill points of the second expedition first, before contributing to the missing skill points from the first one, right? So what I can read from this is there's going to be a system. So let's say in the previous run, you were only be able to amass 2 million of coins. So you only got 2 skill points from the first expedition, right? This means that right now, to catch up with those 3 skill points, you would need 3 million for the 5 skill points. So 3 million coins, 600 for the 5 skill points from this expedition. And then 900 times, so let's say you were missing 3 skill points, 900,000 to get the 3 skill points that you were missing, right? So if you can get your hands on 3,900,000, you will be getting all of your skill points, the ones you were missing and the ones from this expedition. Now, if you cannot do that, and that is what they're saying here, fail to do so, and the catch-up system will allow you to close the gap over time. Now, this is important, over time. Meaning if you can only get your hands on 3 million and you get your 5 skill points now, you still are able to implement the 300,000 with one of the systems they're going to implement to get your skill points that you were missing from your previous expedition, but then over time. So this is actually really, really nice of developers for doing this. This sets the bar for everybody back to the same position, right? Because if you started like really, really late and you only had like 5 days, let's say, or 2 days for the other expedition, you really wasn't able to get your expedition done, right? This time, well, you had 60 days. You should be able to get this expedition done. We're gonna catch you up to everybody else. I do think this is only once, because bear in mind that the rewards and requirements may change for future expeditions, which makes sense. We had the Shredder, the new enemy type, in Stellamantis, right? So in this expedition, we did need to gather resources from Stellamantis and from the Shredder. And for future expeditions, there's going to be new maps. And new maps might mean that there's going to be new enemy types. And as a developer, I do want to push my player base a little bit towards the new content. To do so, we're just going to say, guys, you're going to need resources from the new content to do your next expedition. So that's what they mean with bear in mind that rewards and requirements may change for future expeditions. Now, bonus skill points won't be available indefinitely for those that continue to depart. What I understand is we have this catch-up mechanic right now for the first expedition. It might be possible that if you go on your third expedition, so not this one but the next one, there might not be a catch-up mechanic if you lose on the skill points that you should have acquired now. Which would make sense for me. Because basically, expeditions is end game, guys. It's the end game mechanic of Arc Raiders. End game means there needs to be a time investment to be able to complete end game content. That's just the reality of gaming. Time investment is reward. That's gaming in the basic sense, right? If you cannot implement that time, and not everybody can, but if you can't implement the time, then the end game resetting might not be something for you. Like, that's just the reality. Again, might be a little controversial of my train of thought, but that's basically how I feel, right? So it might be possible that in the third expedition, you won't be able to catch up on the skill points that you missed out on the first expedition. You have this chance right now, but you might not have that chance with the next expedition. So bear that in mind. That is my train of thought. This is kind of something if you guys understand this differently than me, leave a comment in the section. I'll gladly discuss it. I'll gladly get your points of view. And then like, holy crap, you're right. I hadn't thought of that. Like, that's what conversations are for. That's what the comment section is for, right? So yeah, leave me your comments on what you might think that this might actually mean. I think it means that later on you won't be able to catch up on previous expeditions anymore. Now, rewards, stacks, and additions, guys. Players who will be doing the expedition for the first time will get the rewards from the first expedition. This kind of makes sense. Again, let's say you started Arc Raiders really late, or you're a dad with a couple kids and can only play like 2 hours a week. Let's say something like that, right? you were not able to get the expedition done in that time frame that they gave you. Now, they're going to say, like, okay, like with the skill points, we want to place everybody at the same level again. So this time, we are going to give all the rewards that were in the first expedition also to the second expedition, those that do the second expedition, right? Going forward, I don't feel like they need to do this anymore. Again, it's time investment. If they're gonna do this over and over and over again, that means I can do this expedition. I don't need to do the third expedition, but if I go on the fourth expedition, I basically can get everything that was in the third expedition. And the cost for skill points is gonna be lower, so I'm gonna need to do less effort to be able to catch up with everybody else that did do the effort. And that's not what end game mechanics should be. Like, that's kind of feels like a kick against my leg. Like, yeah, you did a lot of effort, but yeah, sorry, man. Other people now need to do way less effort to get to the level that you're playing at. Like, I feel like that it levels the playing field out. It's really nice towards the more casual gamer again, but it kind of feels like a kick in the leg. Again, my train of thought might be controversial. But yeah, for those that continue to depart, guys, more stash space and skill points will be awarded. Permanent bonuses that have been earned on previous expeditions will be retained by raiders even if they choose not to depart again. So this was one of my train of thought that I was like, if this expedition doesn't stack and doesn't let us keep what we already put our effort behind, then I'm just not going to go on expeditions anymore. Because, well, what does it matter? If we miss out on one, we're going to lose everything. Right now, they're saying, like, if you don't depart again, you will keep all your stash space and your skill points that you obtained previously. So really, really good, right? The patchwork outfit will get 4 additional toggles, meaning it's going to be, there's going to be a chain or a belt, or there's going to be something, like, if we quickly go check our creators, there's going to be something that is differently from this skin, right? If we go workshop play, we can look at the skin. So there might be possible that this time there's like a shoulder pad on it, right? Or something else that you can toggle off. Because if we go to Raider and we go to customization, you can see we have glasses right now that we can put on or off. And we got headgear that we can put on and off. So there's going to be 4 additional things that we could put on and off to differentiate our character from other players, right? So really, really nice there. And then if we go further, 4 additional toggles and 2 new color options, guys. So there's going to be color skins. Really, really nice. For those joining their second expedition, as well as new scrappy outfits. So the patchwork outfit will get 4 additional toggles and 2 new color options for those joining the second expedition. This also means that, like I said before, players who will doing their first expedition right now will also get the rewards from the first expedition. But you won't be getting the skin colors for the skin, and you won't be getting the 4 additional toggles. That's only for those that went on the second expedition, that completed their second expedition, right? As I can understand it. And new scrappy outfit. So really, really nice. Buffs will stack for those who continue to depart on consecutive expeditions, but will be reset for those who decide not to depart again. What they mean with that is we get consecutive buffs, guys. We get buffs. So every time you do an expedition, you basically get 5% XP boost, 6% scrappy material boost, and 60% repair value increase, right? For those that go on their second expedition, we will be getting 10% XP boost, 12% scrappy material boost, 70% repair value increase. If this keeps stacking and I go on 10 expeditions, that means at the end, I will be having 50% more XP boost than people that don't do it. Meaning I will get to my total amount of skill points way faster than somebody who doesn't go on an expedition. And this is what I meant earlier. If you go on consecutive expeditions, the game is only going to be easier, easier, and easier. Like 6, we go, like for me, I'm going to 10% XP boost, 12% scrappy material boost. Now, 60 to 70 repair value increase. I think this needs to be a decrease. Else it's a kind of a penalty, right? Am I reading this wrong? We go from it's 60% cost to repair your items. But right now, because I'm going on my second expedition, it's gonna cost me 70% repair value increase. It's gonna cost me more to repair my stuff. Again, making a little bit sense if you look at the bonuses. The bonuses, if you go on your consecutive ones, we go to 24 stash spaces, guys. Going back again to the start when I said expeditions are gonna be easier and easier, can you imagine if we do 5 expeditions? That means 60 inventory slots more. 60 inventory slots means a whole lot more currency in my bank. Meaning, even if the developers would say, like, we heard you and we apologized at start, the first expedition, the skill point gap was a little bit too high. But right now, we feel like 5 million is at the right track. With 60 more inventory spots, or 100 or 200, like, depending on how many expeditions you do, it's going to be easier and easier and easier to get your hands on that money, to get your hands on repair materials. And that's also why I think that there is going to be a repair value increase. So you're going to need to pay more to repair your shit the more expeditions that you do, right? And then skill points, guys, catch up on missed skill points from the first expedition. So 5 skill points. So 85 total is possible for those embarking on their second expedition. And yeah, here we got a picture with what they're doing. Permanent expedition, cosmetics, patchwork outfit, and the evolved version. Scrappy cosmetics, expedition indicator icon, stash space, skill points, and then the boosts, guys, increased boosts. Like I said, it's gonna be easier and easier and easier to do expeditions. The more stash space we get, and the more skill points. Because if you eventually do enough expeditions, you can max out your skill tree, and that's definitely gonna make you more powerful than somebody who didn't do it. Because there are skills there that do make a difference. So, yeah, really, really happy. They really looked at the more casual gamer out there. And, like, we know it might have been too high. Let's do a catch-up mechanic. We know you may be starting late on a game because the game released, like, 2 months. And the expedition was kind of thrown in there for a lot of people. So, yeah, let's do a catch-up so everybody's back on the playing level. That is incredible news, guys. That is incredible news. So, yeah, good luck out there, Raider. The Arc Raiders team. So there we go, guys. I'm really curious to see how the skins will look. I hope there's a red color for the outfit in it, and the attachables that we are gonna get. And then before I go, guys, I do have to mention this one. The projects, they did mention the trophy display. Did I mention that? The trophy display, your credits, your Raider tokens, they will not get reset. You will keep them. The trophy display has blueprints behind them, guys. So if you want to be like, okay, this might give me a boost in the next expedition, after the next reset, and you use a shotgun a lot and you want to get a silencer, don't do this. Like, don't do your trophy display. Do it after the expedition is done, so you instantly have the blueprint available when it's done. So that's also what I'm gonna do right now. Anyway, that is where I'm gonna wrap up this episode, guys. If you want to see more of my quest progression of my Let's Play here in Arc Raiders or any other game that I might be playing on my channel, just hit that subscribe button. It would always help out a lot. I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.